there are more EverQuest mysteries than there are stars in the universe. And someone's gotta talk about them. Anyone? Any takers? How about you? This guy? No? Alright, I see what you guys are saying. Looks like this task has fallen on me once again. Now, let's see. Last time I left off with the chessboard, and the chessboard is great and everything. I mean, don't get me wrong, everyone loves the chessboard, but you know what else everyone loves? Fire beetles. What's their story? Where do they come from? Why are there Clicknicks in Qeynos and Clacknacks in Rivervale? Well, luckily for you, I stumbled upon a trailer for an unreleased expansion that was supposed to come out after Velius. Hopefully this will shed some light on the lore of the fire beetles. Play the footage! They've always been here, before all others, even before the gods gave any thought to the world. But they're forgotten now, hunted, destroyed, nearly swept off the face of Norath. Their history has turned to legend, and legend to myth. But there are some who remain. Listen, do you hear them? The hatred in their step. Look, do you see them? The fury in their eyes. Their time has come again. You must help the beetles restore their kingdom in this all-new EverQuest expansion. The bloodline of the beetles. Help the royal family regain their power on the new continent of Beatilia. Choose which family to help ascend the throne, the Clicknicks or the Clacknacks, and get ready to grind a lot of faction. Experience EverQuest like never before with an all-new playable race, Fire Beetle! Scuttle through Norath and explore new zones, collect new items. Beetle Civil War! Feel your power like never before with alternate beetle advancement points and an all-new level cap. Bloodline of the Beetles! You're in our world now. Wow, I can't believe they scrapped the Beetle expansion and went with the alien cat people one. Whatever. Okay, this next mystery is kind of, I don't know, out of my league. I'm in over my head with this one. It's too mysterious. It's the Qeynos Stone. Or rather, the Qeynos Stone image, because it's like a strange artistic rendering of the Qeynos Stone. Most of the information about this thing comes from EverQuest 2, so I don't really know if it's canon or applicable to EQ1. But to my understanding, that's how we know that this thing is in fact the Qeynos Stone, and that it's apparently part of a doomsday calendar that was made by the Shissar, the snake people that used to live on Kunark. But before I get into any of that EQ2 stuff, let's look at what we have to work with in classic EverQuest. This thing appears in at least 10 zones, which confirms the only thing that I know for certain, that it's important. The zones seem to be completely random as far as I can tell, and on that note, who is putting this graffiti everywhere? If it's a picture of the Shissar calendar, then why is it found on the 3 classic continents and not on Kunark? Do the Aviacs have something to do with it? What about this mechanical spider? What's going on over here? You'll probably notice that these symbols appear elsewhere in EverQuest. In fact, they're all over the place and they seem to represent different races, or cities, or deities. Who knows? This symbol is found in Erudin and in Miragul's creepy ice caves, and on most high-end ceramics. This symbol is found anywhere there are creations of Rallis Zek, and this one appears all over anything even remotely related to the Dark Elves. Brel Ceralis. I read a theory that this one could be Vishan, and that these 3 symbols could represent the gods who first created races on Norath to keep the dragons in check. Tunar, who made the elves, indicated by these 9 markers. Does that symbolize the Druid Arenes? Brel, who made the dwarves and gnomes, indicated by his candle crown, and Prexis, who made the kedge, and he might have made other races, I don't know. The Othmer? I think he had a hand in making the drowned citizens, but the most interesting of all the Chelsea stone images can be found in permafrost. This one actually has Monopoly pieces set up around it to make it look more like the face of a clock, reinforcing the idea that this thing tells time to some capacity. Also, did you notice these giant Lady Vox claw marks out here? That's pretty cool. Ugh, stay focused! There was actually a thread a long time ago on the Project 1999 forums where everyone tried to figure out what this image means. I can't really tell if a conclusion was reached or not. There's another theory here, something about a lizard man prophecy, although it seems pretty similar to the Shissar one. Okay, time for EQ2 talk. Disclaimer, I don't know what I'm talking about. At some point someone found a secret cutscene or something in Everquest 2 that revealed another layer to this image, and it fills in the gaps indicated by these points. So did they have all this in mind back in Everquest 1? Kinda looks like it. So this is like 1/2 of 1/4 of some prophecy? Anyways, these new symbols have led a lot of people who know more than me to believe that this is indeed a calendar predicting the end of days. I guess these symbols represent events on a timeline, like the fall of the Combined Empire, or the Relosian invasion into the Plains of Power, the Green Mist, the destruction of Lookline. Does it collide with Norath? I don't remember, I might be getting my games mixed up. I've read that this symbol represents Vishan, or the Sleeper, or Inoruk, or Mayon Mistmore, or maybe Mayon was the arrow. I also read that he was the only person who actually knew what any of this meant. So if he was the one running around the original 3 continents putting this sign everywhere, then that would make some sense. It does seem to be made in Neriak neon. And I just read another thing, theorizing that these inner symbols may actually be a set of instructions on how to prevent whatever doom this prophecy is predicting. And you know what? I'm done with the Chelsea Stone. It's too much. I've checked out. You'd feel the same too if you tried to read through 90 pages of EverQuest forum lore speculation. I'm tired of mysteries in general. You know what? I'm gonna go actually play the game for a change. I'm gonna go to Kern's Tower and collect bone chips. People do that, right? This is gonna be great. It'll be nice not questioning and possibly convoluted mysteries for a change. You have to be kidding me. What is that? Why is that thing on the other side? Okay, so on the other side of Kern's Tower there's some Ixar-looking druid rings. I bet you didn't know that. I bet you learned something here today. And to think all these years it's just been sitting on the other side of this wall, waiting to be discovered. It has this red Ixar Kabbalist symbol on it. That's it. That's all I got. Luckily, I was reading through the adventures of Sneaksy the Gnome one day, when all of a sudden, there they were. More Ixar druid rings. Yes, I know absolutely nothing about Kunark. Apparently this is the entrance to Sebelis, and apparently this thing allows you to enter the zone, but you need a key to use it. So I decided to go searching for more of these Ixar teleporters. And since there's one outside of Sebelis and Kern's, I began checking all of the Kunark dungeons. No. Nope. Definitely not. I don't think so. I don't know what that is. Yes! There's another one outside of Howling Stones, and once again it needs a key to open. So obviously they wanted you to have a key to get into Kern's, or maybe they planned for it to be another higher level Kunark dungeon, like Sebelis and Howling Stones. Whatever the case, this definitely fits in with the theme of Kunark dungeons being painful and hard. You know, a staircase and some doors would do just fine, but no! These dungeons gotta be all magical and have no exits. On that note, how do I get out of here? Yeah, that might work, but I'm not really a wizard. Isn't the Field of Bone magical? It's gotta be one of the best zones in the game. There's unsolved mysteries, a tower that looks like Orthonk, an island with a King Khan on it, the skeleton of an ancient dragon that's actually part of the lore, underground tunnels with weird snake thrones. Who made them? The Shissar? This guy? I'm gonna go with the Shissar. There's spider caves and the ruins of Qeynos. The list goes on. Well, I guess that's the whole list. The point I'm getting at is that all things must come to an end, and this video series about mysteries on EverQuest is no different. But hopefully you've learned something. Hopefully you've come to appreciate this game a little bit more. You know, you'd be surprised by what you can find if you simply take the time to look. And maybe the next time you're sitting around the tunnel buying your golden Ifriti shoes or your Velium crystal wedding rings, you'll take a moment and ponder the existence of fire beetles. Or stop by Freeport and pay the drowned citizens a visit. Maybe you'll gather the gumption to figure out what this thing means, but I wouldn't recommend it. And as for me, well, I think my days of investigating mysteries are finally over. I mean, there aren't any left. I've seen them all. Done them all. I talked about all of them. The only thing left for me to do is actually play the game. So feel free to look me up in Norath. Maybe we can talk about lore and mysteries while I'm harvesting platinum pieces or negotiating my reputation. Maybe working on my epic mission or wangling some experience points. Gotta get my trade skills up, get my fashion quest on. You know, I've had the same set of armor for 8 years. I should probably work on that. I should really go to Kunark someday. Maybe hit level 51. Did you know that the level cap was raised from 50 to 60? I had no idea. I was studying lore. I hear Velius is nice this time of year. Ooh, maybe I should go camp ahead. No one actually bought that, right? No more mysteries in EverQuest? There's nothing but mysteries in this thing. Did you know that there's a secret vault in Highkeep? And what about these graves in Mistmore? Who's this? And who's that? Is this bridge a lore dragon? Like that one? And who made these giant hands in the Inathul swamp? I know there's a lot of lore about the Froglocks and the Trolls and Kazakh Thul and the Mar twins and the desert and Selesic Row. I still haven't talked about the Oasis of Mar. What's wrong with me? Why does this stone exist? This is the only one in the whole game and it serves no purpose. And don't even get me started on the gypsies.